What's going on, everyone? Hey, I hope y'all are having a great start to the new year. So on occasion, I will get a request through my channel, and it'll typically fall under two categories. Category number one is going to go something like, for the love of God, stop yapping and start fishing, okay? Now, I don't know that I can address that because I think my target audience is maybe the person who's thinking about beginning kayak fishing, or they're fishing inside the harbor and they're thinking about venturing out, but at the same time they want to get home safe to their wives, their kids, and to their dogs. So from the inception, my channel has always been more about instructional stuff as opposed to like action sequences. Now, the other kind of request I might get is, hey, I want to go fishing with you. And the answer to that is yes, you are more than welcome to join me when I go fishing, when I go biking, when I go rock climbing, whatever. Now, having said that, not every trip that I do is going to be right for everyone. But the first trip invitation of 2020 will be right for everyone. So if you've been watching my videos from the sidelines and you're thinking about kayak fishing, this is a trip that you want to attend. I am planning a kayaking / camping trip to Pyramid Lake, and I'm going to invite about 945 of my closest friends. So this is going to be an overnight trip for me. Pyramid Lake is about 40 minutes away from downtown Los Angeles, going north on the 5. I'm going to zoom in here and go to satellite. I would say that if you are even thinking about starting kayak fishing, this is your trip, because everything about Pyramid Lake is easy peasy. It is super easy to get to. It's right off the 5 highway. For the most part, you don't have to deal with very dangerous elements like a beach launch or big swells. It does get a little bit windy over there sometimes, but the consequences of big wind here are much less severe than in the ocean. In the ocean, if you suddenly have to deal with like a 30-40 mile per hour offshore wind, you're going to be blown way offshore and you're going to be first name basis with someone from the Coast Guard. Here, what could happen? You get blown off somewhere and you end up on a shore and you call for help. In addition, the traffic here is very light, especially when compared to Lake Castaic, which is only another like 10 miles away. Especially during the winter time, there's very little boat traffic, so you're not going to be having to fight for parking. You're not going to have to fight to launch off a very small launch ramp. It is just super easy. So at this point, I'm going to start something of a slideshow so that you guys can get a visual representation of what we might be doing. And then later on, I'll bring out the sock puppets. So the first photo is from my summer vacation where I'm hanging out by the beach, minding my own business, and I get kicked in the nuts by a wild horse. Nah, I'm just kidding. Okay, for realsies now. Alright, so the exit off the 5 freeway is Smoky Bear Road. This is the intersection where if you make a right turn and go about 2 miles, you'll go to the Pyramid Lake Los Alamos Campground. And this is where I'm going to be camping out on Saturday. If you go straight toward the water, of course, you're going to hit the launch ramp and all of the boating facilities. In terms of the fees, you might see something like this at the entrance. I think this may be superseded. I spoke to a gal, really friendly, who told me that to get in with a kayak, it's 20 bucks for the day. And then the campground might be another, 30 bucks or so. In terms of when you can launch, during the winter months, and this is before March 10th, I was told. The park opens at 7 a.m. and then you cannot launch your boat or kayak after 2 p.m. And then all boats and kayaks must be off the lake, off the water, by 4 p.m. Now then, you have to pay attention here because they are super vigilant about the quagga mussel or the zebra mussel or whatever they call it. So every boat and every kayak upon entrance needs to pass an inspection. Okay, so they're gonna have you pull over, they're gonna have you open the hatch to your kayak, and you want to make sure that the inside of your kayak is bone dry. I do remember going there with a random, someone I met, a kayaker, and he had left his kayak out in the rain overnight, and so there was water inside the hull. They turned them away, and that was that. So again, make sure the inside of your hull is bone dry. Okay, I'm gonna click through some more photos. Here is a photo of the launch ramp. Look how wide it is. And this was on a weekend day during the winter months, and there's virtually no one here. This is a closer up view. Tons of room here. Okay, so this is where you can launch your kayak. If you have a Hobie where you got to worry about the Mirage drive or the rudder and you don't want to get wet, you just kind of launch it here, pull it with some kind of tow rope to about 4 or 5 feet of water, and then board the kayak somewhere here. Here I'm cycling through photos soon after launching, and the takeaway here is there's not much traffic out here at all, you know, power boats or otherwise. So again, it's a very, very safe venue if you're nervous about power boats, for sure. This is a series of photos that kind of describes visually what the campground is about. Apparently it's a bare area, host, bathroom. The campsites I would not describe as pretty. They're just kind of functional, and some of the campsites are a little more tucked away and you get some more privacy and whatnot. Again, I think it's about $30 a night. So the game plan for me is to arrive at the lake early Saturday and then fish all day. And then of course we have to be off the water by 4 p.m. At which point I head over to the campsite. If enough people show up, maybe we have a campfire, potluck or whatever. And then wake up Sunday and head home. Okay, so at this point the only thing left to cover is the fishing, and I'm gonna be straight up and out front with you guys. I have no idea what I'm doing in freshwater. So I know that the lake holds like stripers and largemouth, and I think they may stock with trout, and there's catfish. So the variety is there, but I can't guarantee anything. I just don't know. I just haven't spent enough time in freshwater. So this trip is, for me, it's going to be all about learning / scouting, but I enjoy those aspects. So if your outlook is something similar, then we're going to have a good time. Here is a screenshot from a fish finder out of Cachuma Lake, which is near Santa Barbara. This was sent to me by a friend of mine. And these fish are stacked pretty tight from about 50-60 feet on down. So again, I'm curious. And Cachuma, the lake properties are similar to Pyramid. So we'll see. It's going to be a gamble. Okay, and then finally, in terms of the dynamic elements, like, you know, the date, the conditions, I'm not going to hard code it into video. I'm going to leave a link in the description to a Google Sheet that you can constantly check and I can constantly update. So anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm hoping that this trip can go, and I'm hoping that you guys can join me. Tentatively, I'm thinking the weekend after Super Bowl weekend, which should give you guys an entire week to recover from your hangovers. So, you know, beyond that, again, check the links in the description, and I'm hoping to see you out there. If I don't see you guys out there, have a great 2020. Get out there, have fun, be safe, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.